no one is willing to do the Gary Roberts format in the whole world. Not one person except me. So what you need to know is I have 40 opportunities to do these tournaments. There was only maybe 2 or 3, 4 tops negotiated events with other people before you came at me with the worst format in the history of mankind. Okay. So because of that, 2 or 3, 4, maybe most of the events that I had pre-done before you told me the format have already now been canceled, which is good for you. There is one event that is still alive that will not be using your event.
Yeah.
And it has obstacles in its way too.
Yeah.
Meaning Michael Todd may be in Dubai and COVID may be sweeping through all of us in every state as a federal mandate if my man Sleepy Joe is in fact, today's a big day. Today is what? Tuesday, December 15th, I believe. Is that correct?
December 8th.
Oh, it's only December 8th?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Okay. So
forget everything.
I don't want to get too heavily into this COVID. All I know is this. For the entire pandemic, I learned of one person who was impacted from COVID. Peter Milano lost his mother in a retirement home to the COVID. And I was like, oh shit, that's the first like really serious thing that this has impacted me. Now, in the last 2 weeks, I've seen my brother put on Facebook, who we don't really have close ties with. We've had some falling out, but he said he had COVID. A good friend said he had COVID. Another friend that I talked to said that their entire family has COVID. So, I mean, I don't know if that's saying anything. That for 7 months, I only knew one person. In the last 2 weeks, I found out like a whole network of people I know have it. So I don't know if it's going to get worse, but all I know is personally, the entire thing, I was like, oh, I don't know anybody. But now suddenly, anyways, so hopefully it doesn't get worse. But that for the sport of arm wrestling, we want to get shit back together. The last thing we want to see is shit really hitting the fan. That would just suck. Anyways, hopefully that don't happen.
I agree.
So I got one. We have a lot to talk about. Remy Martin put on there, to the point of the format. Remy Martin put
No. It was Jack Daniels.
Quote, Remy Martin.
No, Jack Daniels, not Remy. Do you know Remy Martin is a cognac?
Yeah. It's his fake name. It's his. He has a different name. He said it's harder to. He's in Wisconsin, Northern Illinois. Yeah. He said, no one can pronounce my regular name, but Remy, shout out to you. He says he's a big fan of the sport.
Super chat.
Cool dude. Anyways, he said, this format may be good footage, but most arm wrestlers, I don't see liking it. And you have a great point here, Remy. And so I just want to add to that before we get back into the full show. I am interested in perhaps expanding the universe of arm wrestlers. The beauty of a show, if you're going to make a show out of something, is I don't need every arm wrestler necessarily to love it. The participants, we need the participants, obviously, but you're all going to watch it, I promise you. And I want to bring up one example. I was looking up running in the Olympics, and the most famous runner in the Olympics is Usain Bolt. He's was the fastest man on earth. I don't know if he still is, but he's won the 100 and the 200 meter dash. He's fast. The sprinting, I'm trying to like maybe equate to arm wrestling. But then if you look at the 400, the 800, the 1500 that test more endurance style than the 5,000 meter and the 10,000 meter, there are different names in that list. Usain Bolt doesn't run any of those races. So I'm thinking for the arm wrestlers out there, by adding a little bit more endurance element, you actually have a little better shot at being, let's say, R-star, because the Usain Bolts may not be training for that. So I think it's good for the arm wrestlers because it expands the universe of what could potentially be the elite guys. Anyways, I wanted to throw that out there, Remy. We just need cool footage and some guys who want to participate, but you don't all have to love it. Anyways.
And every best format was the worst format ever when it started. So we have no idea what's going to happen until we get it done, until it happens. And here's lucky you. We are going to bring so many stars to this event that there's going to be participants to test the theory. Yeah.
ARTEM was on the Uncle John show, and he called me.
Was he being a weirdo? Was he being a weirdo?
Well, okay. So I want to touch on something without getting
ARTEM
dramatic.
Can't help himself either, man. This guy it is a shame.
Okay, here's the thing.
A shame.
Here's the thing. For the arm wrestling fans out there, I would like to consider us, let's say, if we could, a metaphor of marriage between I'm married to the arm wrestlers are married to me. When I came back into the sport, did I cause drama? Yes. But did I cause enough drama that would warrant a divorce? I don't think so. I think I deserve another shot. I was upset about the branding. I was upset about Bill Collins throwing out the, like, I'm going to take you to court stuff. So then I brought in the court stuff. I don't want to get back into that. To me, the Alex stuff is all handled. We're cool. I messaged him happy birthday. He put a heart. Everything's fine. The Albert Ding thing, it's like, hey, my bad. I didn't mean to start a ruckus with you, Albert. Although I do want to say, Albert, you posted a video with the mask. You were all serious about the COVID. But when I saw you kicking ass, which you looked awesome in the last tournament, you had no mask on. So what happened? You don't care about COVID anymore? Anyways, ARTEM, I put on the Uncle John, am I still a dirty rat? And he said, the thing about Gary is I don't think he's genuine. And I think he's only after views. And I was like,
genuine?
Dude, I'm anything. Dude, the one thing I'm as authentic as you get. I don't know what you're talking about, but the point is, I would ask the arm wrestlers out there to forgive me for the drama that I created. I'm going to try to behave myself. Not going to be perfect, but anyways, I just wanted to get out there. He said I was like all for the views, and it's like anyone out there creating content knows that it takes a lot of work for this, and you need views in order to be successful. So yeah, we want views. So I don't know what's wrong with that, going after views. But anyways, free Gary. I'm still banned from the board. Travis Bagent, do you have
what board? Do you have a board? What board?
The arm wrestling discussion board on Facebook. I'm banned.
Who is in charge of it?
Herman Stevens is ARTEM, I believe.
Well, I'm banned too then. There's all kinds of people probably banned. Fuck, you're talking about a bunch of fucking faggots. Jesus Christ. I mean, these are the same guys that know about the arm wrestling meme thing, right? These fucking 3 or 4 little fucking scuzz bucket troll.
But are you
motherfucking weirdos?
Are you tight with Paul Lynn?
Dude. Love him.
I heard it.
Yeah, I love
he
it.
own that board? I
don't know. I don't know. Gary, how the fuck would I know what a bunch of amateur dudes are doing? I don't know. I'm busy, Gary. I got 4 kids, bro. I got 4 kids. My wife looks like she's 22 years old. I mean, the time I get done chasing her around the living room, I got to put Sab on all day, right?
How in the world?
I do not have time to listen to these crybabies, man. I mean, I don't know. And I love Paul Lynn. I'm not calling him a crybaby, but I don't know what anybody does. And frankly, I am so embarrassed that there is a discussion board that you would like to talk on that you can't talk on. It is sad. Sad.
How in the world can I get back on this discussion board
after
your
idea.
Diatribe?
Listen, tell me the 5 names. All right, you said Herman Stevens, right? I hate that guy. I hate that guy, okay? I hate that guy. So I cannot help you there. ARTEM, whatever. I love ARTEM, I think. When I'm around ARTEM, he says, "Yes, Daddy." And I say, "I love you, son." But as soon as I am away, he's just like you. I have no control over this retard. He thinks it's okay to sit beside another couple retards and just talk shit in the camera about people and has no repercussions at all, which is fine, I guess. But one of these days, these dudes that talk that crazy shit are going to get confronted by a crazier person. Lucky for them, I am not that person, right? I will just talk shit right back to you. But it is so irritating. Now, who's the other guy? Paul Lynn. I am surprised if Paul Lynn has anything to do with that discussion board that you could possibly be banned. Unless Paul Lynn is retarded and thinks that you really did something to Alex instead of recognizing what Alex did to you, right?
Yeah.
Or what you allowed Alex to do. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? I am surprised if you can't get on there. And listen, Paul Lynn, put Gary back on the fucking board immediately if you have that power. Is there another name besides those 3?
That's all I know.
Okay. Whoever else is on the board, are you kidding me? I'm sure you need somebody to ask questions. If you watch the Michael Todd Super Chat show, this guy loves to ask questions. Let the man back on the board. Stop being weirdos.
Thank you. So for the record, Bill Collins, I recognize that.
Whoa. Do not say his name.
No. I just say.
Are you putting this on your channel or my channel?
Just listen. I behaved myself. I've fully behaved myself. I recognize this is probably something to handle somewhere else, but you did talk to him. Did he say something?
Yeah, of course. He's not just him. Every single person that has ever heard the story that you told knows Bill Collins, knows that you fucking should have never done any of that.
I don't see
before you called him and said, "Hey, Bill, I have a big, huge motherfucking problem. I've got 2 books of strategy on how to handle this." Instead of checking with you first, Bill. Hey, my man,
we hadn't talked about arm wrestling.
You must talk to him.
I get it.
There's nothing I can do for you. Listen, Jesus Christ cannot help you with Bill Collins and ARM TV. You, my friend, are the only person. And I don't think you can even, you know what? I don't even know, because Bill has a lawyer. The motherfucker's got a lawyer, a real lawyer. Not like me and you got lawyers, or like we used to have lawyers. Maybe you got a different position now, but from the paint on the wall behind your right shoulder, you can't be too far away. I don't see you guys diving in your life savings for $26,000. to battle it out for possession of ARM TV. Okay. But Bill has a lawyer that says, Bill, this is indeed super enforceable. What do you want to do? Okay. Now, for some reason, you chose the path that you chose. I have absolutely no idea why you chose that route. Only you know.
Okay, I find it ironic. So I was upset, and I said once on Facebook about suing Alex. I said it once, and I was attacked like nobody's business. And I was messaged, and people posted publicly, arm wrestling, anyone to bring litigation into arm wrestling is a horrible person, blah, 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 blah. I'm just so intrigued by the fact that I mentioned it once on Facebook, and I was like torn apart. To think that anyone who really wants to do it wouldn't also be torn apart. This seems really weird to me that presents a situation. So anyways, okay, we'll see what. Okay. I have a few corrections. The last episode where we talked about Michael Todd and Khaled, I said that I thought I heard Ryan say that Michael Todd was hustling Khaled. It was in reverse. They were saying that Michael Todd was hustling himself, like he didn't know how to put on a strap, yada, yada. So I have to put out that correction. My apologies. I was editing and listening to things to try to double task, and I messed up. So anyways, that's a correction out there.
The great thing about this whole scenario with Dubai and Larry Wills and those gentlemen, I don't want to say his name wrong, Khaled. All right, so Khaled, the new footage shows that we don't really have to talk about this anymore, right? I mean, you saw him arm wrestling another guy, just getting driven inside, and absolutely, I mean, he looked like, the worst version of Dave Morocco in his super match when it comes to where his elbow was, right? It was, so we don't have to talk anymore about whether this guy is a top 5 super heavyweight arm wrestler. We now know that if Michael Todd would have stood up and hooked my man, we would have no trouble, right? Just like a Travis Bagent, who's not even a good hooker, could smack my man in a hook and handle his business. So let's not talk about it anymore. It's all good.
Well, can I say one thing? What I was surprised
of course. I mean, let's just not talk about him being a top 5 guy anymore. We don't have to worry about it.
Well, what surprised me is Ingen Terzi is like stepping up his, I don't know. I feel like he's stepping up his, not antagonizing, but he's willing to get into internet debates by posting questions that, raise the energy level. And one, he was like, Devin Larratt doesn't know what he's talking about, sort of thing. And I was really intrigued by the fact that he was like picking a fight with but he's like, I trusted Devin. Devin told me Devin told me this guy was the top, and he's not. And Devin doesn't. Anyways, what do you think about that? Ingen Terzi going on a rampage, social media wise.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt it at all because I've been on the phone with Ingen and Devin, and they do disagree about things.
Yeah.
So anyways, it doesn't surprise me. But it also shows that when you are considered the better guy, you are willing to let the other guy get in his exact most perfect place and let him maneuver from there, as opposed to someone who is terrified of you and will make sure that everything is perfect and or take from you. People need to understand that usually when the two guys get there, one person takes and the other person can either absorb the bullying and still win, or the bullying will cause them to lose. If you bully the beginner, he gets in a real weird position. But that just doesn't happen most of the time because of the respect value. You're always like, yeah, buddy, here, triple cap my thumb and rotate the shit out of it. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, bring your elbow forward to make it impossible for me to come through there. Yeah. All right, now let's see what happens.
Some internet commenters were saying, basically, you kind of copped out by saying, I have always been arm wrestling. And they're like, it doesn't count what you've been doing. And they were saying, in order for you to maintain your relevancy, you need to
have to sign my likeness away.
Well, they were saying
no. Herman Stevens, Corey Miller, Daniel Mosier, these guys can arm wrestle, and it's okay that they don't have contracts, right? Because they can't get them.
Todd Hutchings is a wall athlete. He arm wrestled this weekend.
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah, a lot of them could get permission, but not all of them could. Michael Todd,
but people are saying, why isn't Travis arm wrestling?
Because I had to work like a slave. I went there to arm wrestle. I thought that all I had to do was walk in there at 12 o'clock and they would give me 12 cue cards and I would introduce the super match and do the play-by-play. But when I arrived there, I realized that they had no bracket people, no tournament announcer, no tournament director at all. Okay? What they had was a tournament investor, owner that and to his credit, he looked at me right in my face and said, my man, I need you and you are completely in charge. I took a step back.
You didn't know you were walking into a situation where you'd have to run an event?
Not at all. I mean, do you know what the complexity is when someone hands you 120, or I'm sorry, because they filled out each one. We had like 130 athletes, but 214 forms, not even in a bracket yet, broken down into 17 weight classes.
I've spent an hour with you trying to tell you why I wanted to avoid the bracket because I saw what a pain in the ass it is. Of course.
I'm just saying, if you did have a bracket and you had a $20,000 budget, I just figured when I saw Mr. Bill Collins that Miss Ginger, and when I saw Brian Corner, I thought that Bray Corner, and when I saw Bob Brown, I'm like, oh, sweet. I thought that somehow Jeff Frank had already taken care of all that. You know what I mean? And then come to find out, it just got handed to me at 11 a.m. in the morning, along with the fact that we're in a new venue that is not ready for us, right? And you've got about five chiefs that are in charge of their particular area, right? Bill Collins could have done it all, right? If he would have been contracted to do it all. Obviously, he was contracted to do the reffing, right?
Yeah.
Brian Corner was contracted to do the reffing and to help out with weigh-ins, I believe. So thank God Brian did the early weigh-ins, I guess, with Jeff Frank and got the organization well enough, right? Then the next day they have weigh-ins all the way up to 12 o'clock, right? Knowing that we're starting those super matches. Right. So there was a tremendous amount of things that had to go down. And it was
lucky for Jeff Frank.
And lucky for everybody. You would have never known this if I didn't tell you this. But
because you are so good at your job.
Well, because I looked at Bob Brown and I said, yo, you are working. And he's like, no. And you know how Bob Brown is.
Oh, well, hold on. Pause. We have to hold that. When Bob Brown says no, that's serious.
Oh, you already know. You got no fucking chance if Bob Brown says no, right? I mean, and he said it emphatically.
When Bob, I will equate this. I love Bob Brown. He's the nicest guy in the world. When he says no, and I think I've seen that. I feel like a little kid, like it's my parents saying no. Like I feel like, that
Scared me.
Like
let me tell you,
he's a
how
good
much
no.
I respect Bob's no so much that I will call Bob and say, okay, asshole, I believe this is my life mission and dream. This format, this situation. Tell me why it will not work. And then Bob will lay on me with the pros and the cons. That's how much I value the facts. So I'll just lay it on you. I mean, I can give you the story of the TAL. I'm ready for it whenever you're ready. But if you want to continue on with the little question and I don't care. But if someone asks you why I did not arm wrestle, please know that except for Cody West Cody Merritt and Corey West, I am the most injured person from that event. That was the hardest. I mean, listen, let me tell you the fear. Let me tell you some fear.
Your vocals injured.
Let me give you some fear here, okay? Imagine putting two women to your left and right that have never ran brackets before. And then Bob Brown
hold on. Pause.
Okay.
Let's savor this like some fine
Imagine if you got handed a bracket.
I get it.
Imagine 17 brackets that you personally did not fill out, nor do you know if they are correct at all. And then handing them out to two people that have never done brackets before.
I asked you to savor this like fine wine. Hold on. Let's savor this. I'm not sure if you want this out there because what if? So I was like, I spoke to Ryan S. Oh, this is a great tie-in. So I dropped Ryan Espy's name, and I was totally half joking, people, that Ryan was upset at me. I called Ryan. We're cool, but we started chatting. He was like, "Oh, I dropped. Hope I'm allowed to say this." He's like, "I mentioned Travis's name to Jeff Frank. Hope that's okay." But anyways, for promoters out there who want to like have Travis add in his event, is it good for you to know, for them to know they're like, oh, Travis will save the day, like he's that good? Like, what if that becomes like a detriment, like everyone?
Well, usually my communication skills is better, and this thing with me and Jeff Frank popped up in 10 days. So it was just my fault because I think that I just figured that he had hired Bill as a tournament director and not as a head referee.
So for people out there wanting to be the investors of events, that's important shit to have this all. Like, did that fall apart at the last minute, or they really just didn't have a bracket?
I really do not know. I really don't know, but I will tell you this: Bill Collins did not, you know. I mean, he was the head referee. You know what I mean? And he made it clear that, you know, in the future, you know, if you need a different role, just to let him know.
Okay, I'm ready for the story because I watched some of the video and I saw Bob Brown doing brackets. I saw him.
Yeah. Well, all you saw him doing was preparing the brackets, not doing the brackets. You saw him preparing the brackets, and then I gave the fucking guy the overall and said, I'm done. You do the overall, and because it's easy, it's just, you know, the winners going down. And he gave out the awards with Jeff Frank, you know, which once again, I mean, it was a long, hard, awesome day.
So you filled in the brackets, or you had the ladies?
No, I had to announce the weigh-ins ended at 12 o'clock. The super matches began at 12 o'clock. So I had to announce the super matches. And as soon as the super match was over, I'm handed these 17 brackets that hopefully are correct. Then I hand them and spread them out to two women who do not know how to do brackets yet. And we proceed to run two tables for 6 hours.
and
with
flawless.
No, definitely not flawless at all. I mean, it had guys in different brackets, and it was crazy spellings. I mean, I called Devan Ogamonov, and it was Don Underwood because of the spelling that had taken. And that's not Bob's fault, right? Bob had to prepare the bracket and then let someone else write them in. So it was definitely a piece of work. But getting back to the whole situation.
Okay, well, at what point did you say, "Oh, I can't arm wrestle"?
Oh man, when I walked into the building at 10:30 and it looked like there was going to be a funeral there, not an arm wrestling tournament. Like nothing is on par. There's no manager, no owner. We just got this venue an hour before, damn near, It was a nasty ass nightclub that needed to be kind of cleaned a little bit with a stage that had so much clutter around it. It needed to be, it was crazy. We had to take lights, hang lights. Chuck Young was a beast, did all kinds of work. So me and Joseph and Bill Collins I first went up to Jeff Frank and said, "Hey, yo, here's what I feel like that you have done. Correct me if I'm wrong. You spent all the money on the athletes hardcore, got over budget on the athletes, had some cancelizations, had to go overboard even more to make this the most spectacular flyer that you have ever seen. I believe you probably got a price from Bill Collins on how to be the tournament director, and it just was a little too much because Bill's got about 8 pages in there. He's a logistical fucking nightmare for a guy who's just trying to run, his own little event without having paperwork. Just killed him, right?
Oh,
I said,
man.
You went to Kansas City for the first time in the United States, and you felt like Brian Kerner, who my personal opinion is one of the best dudes in arm wrestling. Kansas City arm wrestling promoter, fucking stud, right?
We spoke on the phone. Shout out to Brian. What's up, bro?
You went to his tournament and you liked it enough, and you also realized what you didn't know.
Oh, wait, hold on. Jeff Frank went to Kansas City?
He did, and he arm wrestled in Brian's tournament a couple months ago. And I believe that love affair sparked up to where he was like, yo, I need to get this guy to my tournament because I like the way he did his, and he's a great fucking human being, and he refereed. So let me get him as a referee. But
okay, hold on. Had Jeff already thrown some tournaments? Was he inspired to throw tournaments?
I think Jeff's first tournament was when the tent fell down and he killed 7 people.
That was his first one,
I believe. Yes.
Okay. So he's fired up, passionate, but still newer in the tournaments holding.
100%. Yeah, he did what I did. He took $10,000 and went and bought a 4-wheeler and rented 100 rooms from a hotel and took a chance. And just like me, lost his ass, you know what I mean, for that particular TAL2. But he had some circumstances that helped.
Wait, TL2 or 1?
I think he made money in TL1. He lost, and I don't even know that, but I know he lost money in TL2. I mean, there's just the writing is on the wall from the money given away as to the money that you received in. There's just no way. And, after talking to him, he's like, listen, it wasn't as a financial success as it was a PR success. And I do agree with that, right? There's no doubt that, if you ever wanted to lose 10 grand and look good doing it, this would be a good way to do it, probably. You know what I mean?
Okay, so there was no prize money given away, so you can spend 10 to 20 grand and not even give away prize money?
So let's talk about the 14 athletes that were in super matches. Every one of them was.
We hope you like the content. Thanks for stopping by. Please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Now click that little bell icon so you get notified. This was Gary Roberts and Travis Bagent live.
Damn it! Do something else. Don't ever say them 2 names to me.